Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Biscuit Banter Podcast. Now, my next guest spent his AAA days playing for the Toronto Marlboros, where he tallied 239 points in 135 games across his U15, U16 seasons. Also won a gold medal at the U17 World Hockey Challenge, and now currently plays for the Green Bay Gamblers in the USHL. A Harvard hockey commit. Please welcome Lev Katzin. Lev, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, I brought up the Toronto Marlboros days. What was that decision like to play for them? Was it because of the rich history of the organization, most notably Connor McDavid playing for them?
Yeah, at such a young age, you're always around the rink, and you see that jacket and that logo. And honestly, for me, it was always a goal of mine to be able to play for them in my first season. And luckily, I was able to stay with them for 7 years. And it's just such a decorative organization, and there's so much history that's behind what they show. And it's just that organization has prepared me to be a better person here, and I've grown so much from learning so much from that organization.
Now, you most notably played with William Moore, who's a top prospect in the 2025 draft. Did he have any impact on you going from Canada to the USHL?
It was obviously playing with him for my minor midget year was very important to me, and he obviously was a very important part in my success. And his dual citizenship led him to be able to play on the national development team. And yeah, we talked about what it would have been like to go over to play in the States. And yeah, he gave me a little bit of feedback and heads up of what it would be like to be playing in the States and what would happen. And yeah, he helped me a little bit to decide on the USHL for sure.
Now, were you drafted by Green Bay? Because I saw like on your elite prospects that you were drafted by Guelph in the OHL draft. So do you just like sign with Green Bay or what's that process like?
Yeah, so I signed an agreement. It's called a tender agreement, and it's basically like you're drafted by the team, and it's just it was a really good spot, and I wanted to sign there and play there, so that's where I decided to play.
And you talked about the Marlboros and how they improved your development. What has that transition been like from AAA hockey with them to now the USHL in Green Bay?
Yeah, it's obviously a very, very tough step up, and a very different challenge that it's been tough this year for sure. And it's this game, the speed of the game is a lot faster, and you got to play a lot more defense. And there's a lot more like meaning to every game. Not that games last year weren't meaningful, but it's just every game matters for a playoff spot. And yeah, it's just very important to bring your best every game, which is very tough, and especially in such a tough league.
Yeah, and I was like the reasoning behind going to the USHL, did the idea of playing college hockey loom in your mind as you're making that decision to sign that tender?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wanted to play college hockey, and um, it was a very good option that opened up for me, and I decided that I would take advantage of it. And it's a very good route to be able to go play college hockey from the USHL. It prepares you very well, so I'm happy that I was able to play in this league.
And what's that transition like moving from Toronto to Green Bay, moving from a different country now to the US?
Yeah, like I thought it would be really hard moving from home, but I'm living with a really good family, so they've made it pretty easy on me, and they've helped me out if I was ever lonely. There's a little brother and a little sister here as well, so they've helped me out, and the weather's pretty much similar, and it's only an hour back time change, so it's not that big of a difference. But yeah, overall living in a different country has been a little bit different, and it's something that I definitely had to get used to for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you mentioned your billet family. What are those first few weeks like? Like getting your life readjusted. Now do you go, it's online school, I'm assuming in the USHL, like you guys just do school from the
Yeah,
rink?
yeah. So we 3 times a week we'll go to the rink, and then we'll do school for 2 hours. And adjusting to the new family, it kind of clicked right away. And I see them as family now, and they've been a very important part of making me feel comfortable with this team, and they've helped me a lot throughout my start of the season.
And you talk about the schedule. Like, what is that difference like between the Marlboros and Green Bay? Are you playing the same amount of games a week, practices, workouts? What's it like?
So with the Marlboros, we would probably work out on our own most of the time, or we would work out as a team once a week, and we'd practice 3 or 4 times a week, and we'd have two, sometimes 3 games a week. And here it's just we play Saturdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and we'll play the odd Sunday or Wednesday game. And we're playing 62 games, and the season's a little bit more stretched out. And with the Marlboros, we would play around 80, um, including tournaments. So it's these games are a lot heavier on the body for sure, and you can feel the difference in the strength of the guys you're going up against. So I think the schedule is important, that it's 2 games a week, and the practices we do are very tough, and our coach has a very awesome plan every day for practice to help us all get better and have a competitive practice. So yeah, it's just harder practice for sure this year, and the workouts are longer, harder, and it's just a big change for me.
Now, with Green Bay, anyone in particular taking you under their wing, being a rookie? I see you have like a few high draft picks on your team.
Yeah, like there's one in particular. My roommate, actually, his name's Jason Shagabe. He's a Tampa Bay draft pick, and he's been someone that I've looked up to since before I even played on the team, and he's made it very easy for me because we've become so close so quick. So he's always there for me if I need to talk to him about hockey or home or anything.
So wait, he's your roommate like on the road, or is he have a
No, no,
knife
I
up to
live
you
with
right
he.
now?
No, no, no. I live with him during the season, and not on the road. He's not my roommate on the road. We live in the same house.
And like, what are those bus trips like when you're traveling in the USHL?
Yeah, they're obviously tough, like the long bus rides, but we got a sleeper bus, so we got beds
Cool.
on the bus. Nice. But yeah, it's just long bus rides. You just try to like find something fun to do with the guys, play some cards, listen to music, or sometimes just watch TikTok. But it's tough with the long bus rides, but you get used to it, and it's nice to be with the guys and hang out and just talk about random stuff and just enjoy.
And yeah, what's the chemistry like on the team? Is it like a lot of dinners on the road, even like when you're playing games at home, you guys going out after games?
Yeah, well, our team is very close, and obviously coming from a team where I played with the same guys for my entire life, I thought it would be a very hard change, and I didn't know if I would ever play on a team as close as I was last year. But yeah, we go out for lunch every day, like together, and we have team dinners on the road all the time. We hang out in the hotels. We'll play cards. We'll go out for dinners after games, like you said. Like it's just we have very good team chemistry, and I think that shows when we hit the ice.
Awesome. Now, I mentioned that you played U17s with Canada at the World Hockey Challenge. You guys won the gold, but I was confused. So there was a Canada red and a Canada white. Like, what was the difference, and how did they decide who played on which team?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what process went through the Canada Red, Canada White making what team, but yeah, it was just such an honor and a great accomplishment to be able to play for your home country.
Yeah, and what's that celebration like after you win the gold medal? Are you guys families all hanging out, or what's the deal?
Yeah, like I'm getting chills talking about it right now. So actually, the celebration was on the ice was amazing. So after the goal went in, we all went crazy. We were all like, "What just happened?" It felt like a fever dream. Like we went into overtime against USA in the finals of a tournament, and it was just so awesome just to be with the guys that we built such a great connection over those 10 to 12 days. And we all said in the Zooms before the season started, before that tournament started, that we wanted to win gold. We didn't know how true that would be because, of course, everyone wants to win gold. But then once we hit the ice the first few times, even though we didn't get a win in regulation into the semifinals, I believe. So it just showed how battle tested we were for these close games. But then after the celebration on the ice, we didn't know like what our flight schedule was and all that. So we thought we'd be able to hang out with the families. But actually, we had a flight. We had to leave from our hotel at 3 in the morning and drive 2 hours to an airport and then fly all the way back. So it was a long travel day, but obviously having the gold medal just it didn't matter what we did. It was awesome just to be with the guys, like I said, and celebrate as a team.
So I recognize like Emil Gui on the roster of your guys' Canada White team. Was there anyone else on that team that you knew beforehand? And like how quickly do you have to build that chemistry?
Yeah, so I'm pretty close with the goalie Jack Ivankovic, and I know Tyler Hopkins, Matthew Schaefer, and Caleb Denoyer, and right away our team just clicked. The first day we went to the hotel, we started playing games with each other, cards like Duck Duck Goose, just to break the ice, like stuff like that, and right away you could see connections forming with all the guys that I still talk to every day, and that I'll have memories of all these guys for the rest of my life just because of how close we became over such a short period of time.
Yeah, I always wondered, like I heard Will Smith talking about it on the podcast, how after USA won gold, but do you guys keep together? Like, is that group chat still buzzing like day after day?
Yeah, it's tailed off a little bit, and I know like the guys like we want to keep in touch, but probably more in the summer we'll talk to each other about the seasons. But I still talk to many of those guys every day, just about their seasons, just remembering on how much fun we had. And I was actually texting Ethan Zada, his name is. We played against each other our whole lives for 7 years, and we probably didn't like each other too much. And then we got to play on the same team for the first time in that tournament, and we just became really close. And we talk pretty much every day, and it's just good to have like a new group of friends formed from memories created.
All right, now I want to just get back to the Green Bay. I mean, 20 points in 32 games as a first year guy, like that, it seems like this adjustment's almost been smooth, at least based off the stats. But what's different about playing you like GTHL versus USHL?
Yeah, for sure. I find it's different. Is you're playing against guys who are much bigger, and when I was younger, the guys that were bigger, to be honest, weren't like always the best skaters. But this year, they're big guys that can skate. Who are everyone's smart out there, and everyone's really good. So you have to find different ways to get to the middle of the ice, and I think that's the biggest adjustment for myself is trying to find ways to get to the middle of the ice and try to win more puck battles and not get pushed off the puck. And I just think everyone's stronger and faster. That's just the big difference for me that I've noticed.
And like I know you mentioned Jason Shagave, is that his, I can't, if that's his last name, I
Yeah,
apologize. Is that
yeah,
so
yeah.
these guys, you have a few draft picks on this team. Do they talk to you about, just being in the moment, handling the fact that look, there could be scouts at each of these games and you got to be a professional both on and off the ice. What are those conversations like between you and the older guys on the team?
Yeah, for sure. So, like realizing like there is NHL draftable players on our team, so there's going to be scouts and even GMs there at games, and just talking to the guys, just saying play your game, just focus on what matters, and eventually, like if you're doing the things right, good things will happen. And just to be able to have those older guys to look up to and who have been through it already is just so beneficial for me and how I should be able to be able to handle myself in tough situations and like play under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I just want to get into the decision. You obviously committed to Harvard University over the summer, kind of heading into the season of Green Bay. What went into that decision? And did you ever talk to Richie Gallant? I know he also committed there as well. Did you talk to him about that as well, making that decision?
Yeah, yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. So I met Richie at a CAA camp in the summer in LA, and we became really close quickly. And as two small guys, we just talked about like how hard it would be for us this year, and then Harvard came up, and we both really like wanted to go there, and it's good that we're close. And the thing that went into my decision was like it's just such a great school, and to be able to play hockey at such a good school is not even like imaginable. Like it's just such a good opportunity to be able to go to school there and let alone just play hockey as well. It provides me with options when I'm done playing hockey. So that's
Yeah,
that's that's what my decision.
for sure. Now, Drake Murray's also a CAA. He also committed to Harvard. Does Pat or any of your agents get you connected with Drake and ask him like, oh, what was it that he liked about the coaches or, just the location?
No, no, I think it's more like it just depends on the person you are. So just asking people for advice will always help. And I didn't really know Drake that well to ask him about Harvard, but just talking to like other guys that have been there who are there has helped me a little bit to decide that I want to go there.
And was there like a top three schools that you had in mind, or was it just always Harvard? And also just, I mean, now you get to play in the Beanpot in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for me, I think that Harvard was just always my number one, especially after seeing the Beanpot. I don't remember which year, but I remember watching them win, and it was just such a cool experience to see a bunch of, let's call it kids playing at the Bruins Stadium. And obviously, Boston being my favorite team when I was younger, like, helped me to decide that I want to play in that rink one day. And to be able to do that to start would be the Beanpot would be awesome.
Yeah, Harvard, a couple notable alumni. Adam Fox, obviously, he
Yeah.
went to Harvard. So they have a few guys on the alumni. I've always been curious about this. How much does an agent have on your like decision when it comes to picking a university or college, or is it just they let you figure out where it is you want to go?
Yes. So my relationship with my advisor was always he wanted me to provide him with a list of schools, and then obviously he would give me the good and bad that I don't see from the schools that he's heard or he's experienced. So yeah, for me, he wanted me to make this decision completely by myself, but he also provided me with pros and cons to every school that I went to.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. It's the advisor. I forgot it's not really agent yet until once you
Yeah.
make it there. I wanted to ask, so like with CA hockey, Jim Hughes and Byron Ritchie, two guys that played at the highest level. Jim played in college, but has also been a scout at the highest level. How much of an impact have they had on your career? How often are you talking to them as well as your advisor?
Yeah, so Jim helped me with my decision on Harvard, and he's obviously he's developed three unreal hockey playing players. So I just try to listen to whatever he says and just talk to him about like etiquette on the ice and being dialed in for warm ups all the time. And you never know who's watching, kind of thing. Like his impact on me was like listening to him speak and how professional I always need to be, stuff like that. And Byron, obviously, his son Ryder is an incredible hockey player as well. So just trying to like do what they do, like extra workouts and stuff like that, because I just know that like doing the extra stuff will always benefit me, and that's what I've taken from Jim and Byron.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ryder. He was at that camp as well. And do you guys keep in touch regularly, or like what's it like? You guys comparing schedules, what your lifestyle is now like compared to guys
Yeah,
maybe in the O or the Q?
yeah. I touch base with Ryder here and there. Obviously, I don't want to disrupt him or bother him when he's in his season, and just let him kind of play it out. And he's in his draft year. It's a very important, stressful year, so don't want to put any added stress on him or any issues.
And I just like one final, couple final questions before you go. Just how would you compare like these summer camps you go to a season, like a workout week with Green Bay? Are they more intense in the summer, or is it just as similar?
Yeah, obviously in the summer you have to train a lot more intense because your body has way more time to recover, and here it's kind of you're just maintaining the muscle and the stuff you crafted in the summer. So yeah, I think it's like the training's a lot more intense in the summer, and here you're just maintaining, like I said, and trying to be able to be good in 2 months and by the end of the season not having your body wear out on you.
And I completely missed this question, but is there a guy in the NHL that you currently model your game after?
Yeah, I like to do a little bit of a mix of a Brad Marchand and a Mitch Marner. Marchand's feistiness is zero to none. I don't see anyone in the NHL that's, especially for him 10 years ago, that plays like him or has done anything like him, being able to put up that many points while being such a feisty guy on the ice. And then obviously Marner is just such an unbelievable passer and uh, score goals or assists. He just does it all, and he's a great guy to model my game after.
All right. Well, I think that's all I got for you, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's nice to see
Yeah,
you
no
again. It's
problem.
been a
Thanks for
while.
having me.
Yeah. Well, appreciate it. It's been a few months since I've
Yeah, for
seen you.
sure.
Yeah, but good luck the rest of the way with Green Bay. And if you're back in LA in the summer, then hopefully I can see you then. And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, if
Thank you.
not, good luck at Harvard, and I'll see you on the stage holding that jersey.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Diesel.
All right. Thanks, Lev.
See ya.
All right.